Whether on purpose or not, Sigma empaths are capable of taking action, particularly when it is their only option to safeguard oneself from potential manipulation. They have the ability to detect their surroundings, although you might not see it at first. Being around narcissists might cause them to take on features that aren't supposed to be a part of who they are. They use these strategies instinctively to defend themselves, and they never forget to act non-aggressively toward others. These are the 8 unintentional ways Sigma empaths can control you. 8. Sigma empaths take advantage of your vulnerability. While Sigma empaths are usually known for their compassion and empathy, they can also use manipulative strategies, such as turning your own flaws against you under specific situations. This conduct could be the result of someone feeling surrounded, threatened, or overpowered in a certain circumstance, which would make them want to take control or accomplish their goal. Regaining control over others or safeguarding your own emotional stability may be the motivation behind using your weaknesses as a tool for manipulation. Sometimes, this manipulation is deliberate on the part of the Sigma empaths, who take advantage of your vulnerabilities in order to further their own agendas or sway events in their favor. It may entail gently using others' awareness of your anxieties or insecurities to win their understanding, cooperation, or support. This manipulation may be the result of a belief that such measures are required to guarantee that their interests are served, particularly when they have to emotionally defend themselves. It's important to realize, though, that manipulative conduct like this is a reaction to perceived threats or power imbalances rather than a reflection of the empath's genuine nature or underlying values. 7. Sigma empaths tend to keep their needs to themselves. Though it's not always manipulation, Sigma empaths who don't express their demands or concerns outwardly are sometimes misinterpreted as manipulators. Rather, it's an expression of their will to keep things peaceful and give the emotions first priority. Because they are so sensitive to the feelings and needs of those around them, Sigma empaths often avoid direct communication out of a fear of upsetting, or hurting other people. They might use deceptive tactics in these circumstances, gently implying their wants or worries in the hopes that you will notice and react appropriately. Because it depends on your capacity to see past the obvious and intuitively discern the empath's unstated wants, this may occasionally be interpreted as manipulating. You will ultimately be compelled to act in a way that appeases the Sigma empaths, because you don't want to feel selfish or guilty. Although Sigma empaths may not be aware that they are already controlling you, their actions are meant to prioritize your needs before their own. They do not intend to make you feel guilty. 6. Sigma empaths flatter others in hopes of receiving something in return. Although flattery is not usually connected to the basic empathetic traits of Sigma empaths, it can occur under certain circumstances and is frequently motivated by particular goals. Sometimes people turn to flattery to make a good impression, win someone over, or build a relationship with someone they consider significant or powerful. They try to create a good impression of themselves by complimenting and praising others in order to advance their goals, which may include gaining support, forming relationships, or landing a job. This may be viewed as a tactical adjustment to deal with difficult or competitive situations. The need for acceptance and approval is another factor that can lead Sigma empaths to use flattery as a manipulative tactic. They might believe that by flattering you and becoming friendly, they can keep their sense of community and stay out of trouble or rejection. This conduct may be the result of psychological self-defense or a fear of being abandoned. But it's important to understand that flattery used as a means of manipulation deviates from the normal sympathetic disposition of Sigma empaths and can backfire, undermining sincerity and trust in their interactions. 5. Silence is a weapon used by Sigma empaths. The act of withholding emotional expression, conversation, or involvement in order to exert control over others is known as using silence. Sometimes, Sigma empaths would use silence as a form of passive-aggressive pressure, refusing to talk or express their feelings. They make their target feel uneasy, apprehensive, or guilty in order to force them to give in to their wishes or viewpoints. This silence may be an attempt to manipulate your emotions by pressuring you to find a solution, and possibly caving into the empath's unstated desires. Moreover, Sigma empaths may isolate themselves to shield themselves from imagined danger or weakness. As a protective tactic, they would retreat and be silent in highly hot or contentious circumstances. They can establish an imbalance of power by avoiding conflict and controlling their emotions, which may force their opponent to act as the mediator. Silence thus becomes an instrument for subtly regulating the dynamics of the interaction and preserving the emotional safety of the empath. 4. When they've made up their minds about what they want, Sigma empaths offer an option. As a tactic of manipulation, Sigma empaths may offer an option when they've already made up their minds. This is frequently due to their desire to keep up a front of understanding and empathy while quietly swaying results to suit their agenda. By giving others the appearance of choice and implying that their ideas and opinions are important, this behavior deceives others into believing that the Sigma empath is acting with predetermined intentions. It is harder for the other person to oppose or contest their planned conclusion when they give them a choice, since it empowers and involves them. By using this kind of deceit, Sigma empaths can pretend to be fair and considerate while secretly influencing events to suit their interests. Offering an option might also absolve the empath of accountability or blame. In the event that things do not work out as expected, they might claim that the other party had a voice in the decision-making process, and so escape responsibility for the result. This manipulation strategy may be an attempt to keep control and safeguard their self-image while sidestepping any kind of direct confrontation or dispute. 3. Guilt tripping is used by Sigma empaths. A manipulative technique known as guilt tripping entails making others feel as though they have a duty or responsibility to change their thoughts, behaviors, or attitudes. When they need to get someone to comply or provide assistance, they could utilize guilt to get the desired reaction. This strategy is frequently used when someone feels that getting the other person to cooperate is necessary to achieve their goals or emotional well-being. They could instill a sense of moral obligation or debt through guilt. Furthermore, Sigma empaths may use guilt tripping as a means of emotional self-defense. In circumstances they view as dangerous or potentially harmful, they can build control or reassurance by making others feel bad about their choices or behaviors. Another possible source of this conduct could be the urge to manipulate emotions in order to keep relationships intact at all costs. Even while Sigma empaths are aware of the drawbacks, they only employ this kind of strategy when absolutely necessary and appropriate for the circumstance. 2. Sigma empaths take advantage of your innocence to hurt you. For a variety of reasons, Sigma empaths may try to manipulate you by pretending to be innocent in order to make you feel worse. By acting in a way that makes them appear weak, innocent, or uninformed of the implications of their actions, they hope to instill guilt or pity in others around them. Avoiding accountability or responsibility for their acts is one of their main motivations for manipulating others. They can avoid responsibility or criticism by portraying themselves as helpless or innocent. This places the onus on you, who may feel obliged to defend or support them even though it isn't right. Furthermore, manipulating someone by pretending to be innocent can help you take charge of a situation or relationship. By appealing to people's innate need to shield the weak, Sigma empaths can manipulate the power dynamic to their advantage. Even if they are aware of the repercussions of their actions, this can work when they are trying to accomplish a certain goal. They think that if they dominate people, everything will go their way, especially if they want positive things to occur. 1. Sigma empaths project themselves. By assigning one's own ideas, emotions, or actions to another individual, projection allows a person to effectively project their own problems or fears onto the target. The want to avoid taking responsibility or face uncomfortable feelings is a major contributing factor to this conduct. Sigma empaths can momentarily relieve themselves of any guilt or self-doubt by projecting their own flaws, defects, or unpleasant emotions onto someone else. This conduct can also be used as a manipulative to establish a justification or moral superiority. In order to gain sympathy, support, or approval from others, Sigma empaths may present themselves as the victim or the morally superior participant in a given circumstance. Even if the projection is not an accurate representation of reality, this can be very useful in winning over allies or understanding. To sum up, Sigma empaths should refrain from using others as leverage to accomplish goals or get through difficult circumstances. Although manipulation could benefit them in the short term, it eventually undermines their efforts to establish true empathy, trust, and sincerity with others. Sigma empaths are better able to use their natural abilities to promote harmony, understanding, and open communication rather than turning to strategies that could damage relationships and self-esteem. They can build more genuine connections and deal with difficulties in an honest and compassionate manner by adopting these true empathy traits. Now, how can Sigma empaths maintain an honest and understanding foundation in their interactions without giving into manipulation, while balancing their compassionate nature with the intricacies of interpersonal dynamics?